Building takes time.
What's up, dog?
Whether it be a business or rapport with customers.
Well, what can I get you?
But after 5 years on the corner of 10th and Main,
As long as there is a walkable path to our front door.
Necker Coffee owner Grant Sheely is more concerned about what's building outside his windows.
Cheers, bro.
Closed roads, covered parking, and cutting bottom lines.
Between 5 and 10%.
It's an experience downtown workers and residents see every day.
Oh, yeah.
Including
I've seen it.
Robin Donovan.
Yeah, I didn't want to park over here, so I parked over on the other side of town and then walked over. But I had the time. Not everyone has time to do that.
And not everyone has the ability to make the walk either.
We see 12 to 24 patients a day with foot and ankle issues.
Kevin Chapman owns Foot Dynamics on Main. It directly borders the 11th Street rebuild.
When there's like big equipment going, the building's shaking.
And he says rebuilding the road is tearing down his profits.
And this is our first year to date through April now, about the first quarter, that we're posting a year-to-date loss versus last year. This is actually worse than COVID.
But they all know in a growing city, the building is inevitable.
I've lived in a lot of different cities, and I've never seen a city do it all at the same time.
But they add it's now time for solutions, because at Necker, the building going on outside is harming what he's trying to build on the inside.
How to responsibly develop the city over the course of the next 5, 10, 15 years. I think that is the question.
A drive down Boise River Road shows no shortage of cattle. Look hard enough, you'll even find a few horses in the mix too.
People can have a lot of money, time invested in their animals and stuff.
But after last Friday, there's one less horse to spot in this town.
For no reason.
Because Dan Erskine
That's just wrong.
says his horse was shot 9 times.
I think it was random.
Random, but still intentional.
Around the heart area, that thing was the size of a coffee cup, the pattern. So somebody knew what they were doing.
And Dan's not the only one who thinks so.
Someone being incredibly cowardly, right? It doesn't take a lot of guts to shoot a horse.
Kenyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue says remote crimes like this are difficult because there's fewer cameras than a city and a lower likelihood someone else saw the crime. Crime with a very real impact.
You know, and that was going to be my grandson's little horse, and I'm sure she just walked up to the fence to look at those guys just to see what they were doing, and then they just shot her. Makes no sense.
The randomness has gotten the attention of his neighbors and garnered community support.
The phone just rings off the hook of people calling up and somehow wanting to help.
That support includes a $1,000 reward from the owner here of Bar 20. His name's Jay Blake. He says it's for anybody who provides information leading to an arrest and conviction.
I do not know him at all.
Random, all right.
Never met him.
The store owner was not comfortable talking on camera, but says he lives near that same road and adds this is unacceptable. It's where he and Dan agree there's order to be found somewhere.
Somebody needs to be held their feet to the fire, because this is stupid.
Nature brings people out to Ann Morrison Park.
Just when we're going around this mandatory tree.
But it's a reverberation.
Nice sound to hear.
That keeps a consistent crowd returning. Time and time again.
Not always as lucky.
Dan Oates has played for 20 years.
That's why you can just keep coming back out to Ann Morrison and keep on playing.
Playing mostly for the music.
All right.
And over at the city,
what I think is probably Boise's best assets.
Sarah Arkle says the Parks and Rec department is hearing it too.
Yeah, people are engaged. They care about what's going on with their park.
At least 1,300 people cared enough to fill out a public survey. It involves the future of Veterans Memorial Park.
We're not at a final design phase yet.
But the Parks and Rec Commission has approved the revision plan, influenced by those public survey results.
We'll see if I made it to the other side.
It's a survey that's listening too.
And I was like, hey, disc golf would be a cool one. I already saw it was on the docket, and so I was a big fan. Put my name beside it.
Disc golf was the top choice, meaning Dan isn't alone.
No, not at all.
We have been seeing that community sort of explode.
The Parks and Rec Commission heard public comments on Monday that included concerns over an 18-hole course being too large for the space.
18 would be phenomenal, especially for opening the options for tournaments and local vendors and anyone else just to be able to come and play what you consider a full disc golf course.
Today, Ann Morrison remains the city of Boise's only full course, the only place you can hear the crash of chain wind chimes. 18 times over.
This distance is a bear.
Even if it takes a few extra tries.